Hi, today I'm going to talk about affect, effects and maybe defects. Martin Butler and I were having a conversation in the car this morning about affects and effects, and I just thought it might be a nice topic to talk about with you. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about affects and effects, and let's frame it in the scenario of the great Christmas Advent fast that I've been noticing going on TikTok and other places recently. This year I've seen people posting videos of themselves giving Advent presents every day in December. Not just little chocolates in Advent calendars that you open the door that seems to tear off while you're opening it, and you've got this tiny gob of chocolate in there that you can put in your mouth. No, not that. Big, bold, festooned, ribboned luxuries. Yeah, that's what people have been doing these days. Anyway, it provides a perfect opportunity for me to look at these two things. I thought this might be an opportunity to discuss the difference between affect and effect according to Spinoza. First, let's define affect and effect. An affect is the actual transition itself in which the body and simultaneously the mind passes from one degree of power, perfection or reality to another, either greater or lesser. It's the felt bodily modification by which our power of acting is increased or diminished. Spinoza formally identifies it in Part 3 of the Ethics, Definition 3. By affect, I understand affections of the body by which the body's power of acting is increased or diminished, aided or restrained, and at the same time the ideas of the affections. In plain language, the affect is the raw, immediate shift in your vitality and capacity to act that happens when you encounter something. It's pre-reflective, corporeal, and always accompanied by an idea, either adequate or inadequate, of that shift. The three primary affects, the only strictly active ones when adequately understood, are desire, joy, and sadness. Now, joy increases your power of acting and sadness decreases your power of acting. Everything else, love, hate, hope, fear, envy, is a specific species of one of these. Now, on to effects. Well, Spinoza doesn't really use effect as a single technical term the way he does affect. But when he speaks of effects, he means the outward traceable consequences or expressions that follow from a cause to caused thing. In causal language, from effects 1 and 2, an effect is simply that which follows from something else according to the necessity of its nature. I did say that right, necessity of its nature. In the context of human psychology, from Part 3 onwards, the effects are the concrete feelings, thoughts, images, words and actions that result from an affect once the mind begins to represent and interpret it. In Spinoza's philosophy, the modern English distinction between affect as a verb and effect as a result doesn't directly apply. Spinoza's use of these terms is rooted in his metaphysical and psychological framework, not in the grammatical or everyday sense of the words. So let's use the Advent fast as our example here. The latest in the Christmas fast is Advent. This year I've seen people posting videos of themselves being given Advent presents every day in December. Not just little chocolates in Advent calendars, but big, bold, ribbon-festooned luxuries. This year, half of Kensington and apparently all of TikTok have decided that a single pathetic chocolate behind a cardboard door simply won't do. So, nope. What the modern woman needs is a daily 8,000 to 800,000 surprise every day to really feel the Christmas spirit. So behold, the luxury Advent calendar arrives. 24 days of slowly crushing a man's will to live. Imagine a couple in a large stately manor or a tree-lined street in Mayfair or Knightsbridge with floor-to-ceiling windows and a lovely Hyde Park view where Hyde Park is still dark. In front of a huge Christmas tree, with snow falling gently outside, is a pile of presents stacked high. It's the first day of Advent with Arabella and Hugo. Yes, I've changed the names. Hugo stands in cashmere pyjamas, hair perfect, eyes shining with pure love in the lavish drawing room, holding a ribbon box like it's a live grenade. This is the affect, the external cause of the transition and dynamic change in power. He stands next to the 12-foot nobly tree, holding a small robin's egg blue box. Arabella, in silk perla camisole, with no makeup, somehow still achieves a flawless look as she pads in barefoot. So, next to the affect, she spots the box. Eyes widen like a child, she grabs it greedily. Oh, darling, is this an Advent present? You shouldn't have. Is this? She opens the present and inside is a Tiffany platinum diamond lion bracelet. She actually squeals. She launches herself at him, legs around his waist, kisses him until he blushes. Hugo looks like he's won the lottery. This is the effect, the necessary outcome. Hugo is now convinced that this is the best idea he's ever had. So, day 2. It's the same time, but Hugo's upgraded to a charcoal Brunello. But Hugo has upgraded to a charcoal Brunello. It's the same time. Hugo has upgraded to a charcoal Brunello Cucinelli dressing gown. Arabella runs in. She's still in yesterday's camisole. In front of her she sees an orange paper box. This is the affect. Wrapped in orange paper with a golden ribbon, she tears at the box. Hermes Birkin 25 in rose sakura swift leather, she screams. She drops to the carpet, hugs the bag like a newborn, kisses Hugo so hard his lips bruise. And here's the effect. Hugo texts his banker at 6:15 a.m. and says, move another 4 million into the revolving credit line. This is working. So day 3. Things are still a bit magical. Arabella comes in. She spies a huge box in the corner with 3 on it. Rips off the paper. Wonderful, a suite of travel luggage from Louis Vuitton. She adoringly caresses her new Louis Vuitton Passage luggage set. 5 pieces, all monogrammed. She cries. She actually cries. Here's the effect. Hugo starts a secret spreadsheet titled Arabella Joy Index. From here on, we skip to day 23 because you've got the list there. I've printed it out for you and enjoy it. Read it at your leisure. See if you can find the affects and the effects that are going on. Anyway, so read the list as it'll be good practice for when it's your turn to fake Christmas joy. Now, I won't add affect and effect because you can do it for yourself now. Let's continue to day 23. Hugo, now gaunt, unshaving, wearing the same hoodie for 4 days, hands her a small box. Inside is a simple gold band engraved 24 more years of this, ? She bursts into tears, real ones, hugs him for 5 solid minutes, then wipes her eyes and says, you're still getting me something for the 24th though, right? Day 24, Christmas Eve, 6 a.m. The tree is almost invisible under remaining boxes waiting for Christmas. Hugo wheels in a final enormous cube. Arabella, for the first time in weeks, wakes early, hair unbrushed, no makeup, free. She rips the paper herself. Inside is a single envelope. She opens it. There is a printed email from Hugo's lawyers in the box. He has transferred the entire Mayfair penthouse into her sole name, mortgage-free, plus a handwritten note. You never needed 24 gifts. You only ever needed to know you're safe. Merry Christmas. I love you more than spreadsheets. She looks at him. For the first time in weeks, she smiles like she did on day one. She jumps into his arms, kisses him, until he once again blushes, then whispers, "You kept the Bentley though, didn't you? Yes?" On his final Arabella Joy Index spreadsheet, he writes, "Total spent 47.2 million. Marriage approval rating temporarily restored. Credit score deceased." This is the Merry Christmas from people who've never seen inside John Lewis. So let's leave Arabella and Hugo while he's eating warm crumpets and she's rearranging her house needs, and come back to us. Remember that everything has affect and effect, and it's useful to know the difference. Thank you for listening to me. Speak to you soon.